All right, let's talk about something that might feel familiar. Have you ever felt like you've basically been an adult your entire life? Like you somehow missed the memo on what it means to have a carefree childhood? Today, we're going to dig into that exact feeling, what it means to be forced to grow up way too soon, and what you can actually do about it.
So let's just jump right in with a question. I want you to really think about this. Why is it that when everything is falling apart, when there's a crisis, you are the calm in the storm, a total hero? But the second things get quiet and peaceful, you feel restless, anxious, or just lost. It's a weird paradox, right?
Well, that strange feeling, that paradox, it actually has a name. Psychologists call it premature adulthood. And no, this isn't about being some kind of child genius or wise beyond your years. It's something much, much deeper, a pattern that was likely forged a long time ago.
So, what is it, really? At its heart, premature adulthood is a survival strategy. That's the key word, survival. It happens when a kid has to step up and become the emotional or practical grown-up because the actual adults in their life just couldn't be. You weren't choosing to be mature, you were doing what you had to do to get by.
And this right here is such a critical distinction to make. On one side, you've got this forced adulthood, which is all about survival. It's driven by a deep fear of losing control, and it makes you avoid relying on anyone. But then you look at true maturity. That's about growth. It's about choosing responsibility, being open to learning, and actually being able to build healthy connections with people. See the difference? One is a constant state of alert. The other is just a state of being.
The thing is, these survival strategies can become so deeply ingrained in us that we and everyone around us just assume they're part of our personality. Oh, that's just how you are. But is it really? Let's look at some of the signs and see if any of this sounds familiar.
It pretty much always starts back here, in childhood. You learned really early on that your own needs had to take a back seat. The safest path was to be quiet, to be a keen observer of everyone else's moods, and to never, ever be a problem. You figured out that your job was to keep things calm.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Your perceptiveness wasn't some magical innate gift. It was a required skill. Your ability to walk into a room and instantly read the vibe, to sense a shift in an adult's mood. That was forged in the fire of needing to anticipate danger to keep yourself safe.
So, fast forward to today, and guess what? That old childhood survival software is still running in the background. It's what makes you the super responsible one, who can't ever seem to relax. It's the little voice that whispers your self-worth is totally tied to how useful you are to other people. And it can leave you feeling deeply, profoundly lonely. Because deep down, nobody's really taking care of you.
So why does this pattern feel so inescapable, so sticky? Well, it's because it's not just a single habit. It's actually a powerful, self-sustaining loop made of a few core mechanisms that all feed into each other, keeping you stuck in that state of high alert.
Okay, let's walk through this survival loop. First, your nervous system literally gets used to stress hormones, so peace can feel boring or even unsafe. That feeling pushes you into overthinking. Your brain just runs endless what-if scenarios to stay ahead of any possible threat. To control those potential threats, you turn to perfectionism, thinking, if I do everything perfectly, nothing bad can happen. But of course, that is completely exhausting, which leads to burnout and a feeling of emptiness, which just kicks the whole cycle off again because that emptiness feels so uncomfortable.
And this might be the most important takeaway of this whole explainer. If this is resonating with you, please hear this. You are not broken. These are not character flaws. You are simply running on an old, outdated operating system. It was brilliant. It was a masterpiece that kept you safe in the past, but it's just not serving you in your life today. You don't need to be fixed. You just need an update.
So let's talk about that update. How do we do it? The goal of healing here isn't about becoming even stronger or tougher. It's about the exact opposite. It's about finally learning that it is safe for you to not have to be strong all the time.
This is the number one principle to hold on to. You have to approach this with compassion for yourself. You're not trying to find and fix a bug in your code. You're not trying to erase your past. You are gently, slowly teaching your body, your nervous system, that the war is over. It's safe to come home now.
The very first stage is all about physiology. It's about your body. We're not trying to think our way out of this. We're trying to teach our nervous system on a physical level that peace isn't a threat.
And we do that with really small, consistent actions. We're talking 5 minutes of slow breathing, a short walk without your phone. The goal isn't self-improvement. It's simply sending tiny signals of safety to your body.
Now, once your body starts to believe it's even a little bit safe, then you can start creating some space from those old automatic patterns. And you do it by simply naming them. When that urge to make something perfect hits, you just silently say to yourself, "Ah, that's the perfectionism program running." By naming it, you see that it's not you. It's just an old program. And that creates a tiny gap. And in that gap, that's where you find your power to choose something different.
Because that's the whole point, isn't it? That's the destination of this journey. It's about making that fundamental shift from a life built around survival to a life that is actually about living, truly, authentically living. I want you to just sit with this for a second. Let it sink in. The goal is not weakness. It's about discovering this incredible freedom that comes when you realize your value isn't tied to how resilient you are, or how useful you are, or how many burdens you can carry for other people. It's about being valued just for being you.
So here's a final thought I want to leave you with. True strength isn't about being unbreakable. It's about having the courage to allow for softness. So my question for you is this. Today, what is one small thing, just one, that you can allow to be simply good enough?